Blender! Yo, alright. Today, retro future text in Blender. I recently made an animation and I taught myself how to make this kind of text, and I thought it would be cool and make a video out of it. So I'm going to show you how to do this in Blender. Okay, so first, make a new file. Grab everything, delete everything. Okay. Bring your camera. Oh, dear God. If you have a 1 on your keypad, press 1. Camera. Bring a camera. Hit Control Alt 0. Camera comes to this point of view. Press G, press Z, and go up a little bit. Then we're going to create our text. You can use whatever font. I really don't care. Grab it, rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis. Don't do this. Don't center it like that. Be smart. Center it using the alignment. Now it's centered. You can use whatever font you want. I'm just going to stick with the default font here. We're going to name this Retro Future. Okay. Grab it. Enlarge it. Center it. Now here's the really important part. We're going to come into geometry. We're going to extrude it a little bit. Then we're going to double it. Hit Shift D to copy this thing. And then here's a little secret for you. If you hit right click, it'll snap right to where it was. Now it is perfectly in the same exact spot as the other text layer. Set the fill mode to none. Now we get this outline. You can't quite see that, so we're going to turn up the depth just a little bit. Just a little bit. Then I'm going to extrude it a little bit further than the other text layer. Now we have this cool 3D text, and it's 2 different layers, which is nice because we can put 2 different materials on it. On the border layer, we're going to make a new material. All right. You can do whatever you want here. I'm going to make a color ramp. I'm going to plug the color into the base color, and I'm going to turn the metallic all the way up. I'm going to set the emission to 0, but you can set it higher if you want. Now we have a nice little metallic texture. I'm going to turn the roughness down so it's even more shiny. Go to our rendered view. We can't see anything because it's completely dark. Go into light. Let's add a sun. Meow. Cool, cool, cool. So now we're going to take our front layer, another new texture. This one's going to be a little more complicated. We're going to add a gradient texture. We're going to then add a color ramp. And then we're going to add a texture coordinate and mapping node. If you're wondering how I did that so fast, I have the preference Node Wrangler. Or I have the add-on Node Wrangler. It comes free with Blender. It's already in your Blender install. Okay, don't come crying to me. You grab whatever you want. You hit Control T. Okay. Now we have these 2 nodes. I'm gonna take this texture coordinate node. I'm gonna hold Control, grab this John, put it to window. I'll explain further later. Connect the gradient texture to the factor of the color ramp. Connect the color ramp to the base color and the emission color. Turn the emission to 1. Now we can kind of see what we're working with. I don't like it. We're going to turn the rotation, the Z rotation, negative 90. No. Yes, negative 90. And we're going to bring this black a little higher and this white a little lower. And you want like this harder edge here. Then add whatever color you want. I'm going to put it down here. This is where you get to have some fun. Make it whatever color you want. So I'm going to make the bottom blue, and I'm going to make the top pink, and I'm going to make the middle a darker purple. I like to keep it a darker color because you get that nice, retro feel to it. Setting the texture coordinate to window allows it so it stays the same no matter what angle we're from, which doesn't really make a difference if you're just doing a locked off shot, just a single frame. But if you want to have the camera move around, it creates this interesting, trippy feel. We need more lights. I don't like the lack of light we have. So I'm going to add a new light. I'm going to make a point light. I'm going to bring it up here by the R. I'm going to turn the power to like 2000. Something ridiculously high. We're going to come into the render settings, turn on bloom. Then I want to come back to this text layer, and I want to turn up the strength of the emission until we get some nice bloom. Love it. Okay. Now, next step. I'm going to add a mesh. It's going to be a plane. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis. I'm going to come into edit mode. add a loop cut right there in the center, grab it on the y-axis, push it back till we get this interesting little shapeoloid here. Grab it, Y it, scale it. Then I'm going to grab this center plane thingy here, hit Control B, bevel that, John, bring it to about right here, and start scrolling so we get a nice curve. Then I'm going to do the same on the other axis until we get squares. If you want, you can do some math and you can make sure that lines up perfectly, or whatever you want. We're going to save this smooth. Going back to the shading tab, I'm going to come in here, add a new texture to this guy, scale it up so it actually covers everything. I'm adding another gradient texture, but I want it to be a spherical texture. I actually want this to be an emission, so excuse me. I want to mess around with this until it just about covers our text. And that's good enough, right? Put the color into the strength, put the thingy there. Make this a cool color. Let's go pink. Let's go pink. Now you're wondering, what the hell's the point of this? Come into here, add a modifier, make it a wireframe. Boom. Check out how cool that is. But I kind of want this inverted, so that's no problem. For me, at least. Could be for you. All right. That is basically all you have to do, but now we're going to do the sweet stuff. We're going to come into compositing. I'm going to open this up, turn this to 3D viewport, put it to camera view, turn on rendering, and turn the compositor preview to always. Come in here, use nodes, come in here, add a glare node to this. This is where you can have some more fun. I like to set this to simple star. You can really set this to whatever you want. You can set it to ghosts, streaks, you can combine them. I'm going to keep it at simple star. I'm going to turn the threshold down until we only get a little bit, just a little bit of sparkle. And if I do everything right, let's turn that brighter. Turn the threshold up. Yeah. Now we're only getting sparkle around this point light, and now we can control it. We can control exactly where we want the sparkling to be. I think the threshold is a little much here, so. All right, there's a really simple retro future text in Blendoid. If you want, you can even add a curve. There you go. You can even add a curve, chat. You know, I don't really think that's half bad. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Rate 5 stars. Put a 9 in the comments.